That's a drum. That's a drum, and there's no results for me. No result, there's no results. By the time that a drum, there's no result. No result.
The father saying that the postmortem results has shown that little Adriana drowned. That's what the father is saying that we were told.
People, right now, a chaos in Guyana because the autopsy report revealed that 11-year-old Adriana Younge was drowned, and the people them nah by that. As you can hear, our father say that is not no result for him. There was no result at all because him knows say for him that I never drowned. But the thing is, people, she can drown for true, because they can show something in her nose and drown her. She not have to drown in her pool. But anyway, I'm going to listen the family lawyer upon an interview now and make some speech, and I'm going to talk everything what happened inside the autopsy room. People, listen keenly.
So explain to us the process that was done today as best as you know.
Gordon, if you can recall, it was our doctor, Dr. Gary Collins, who from when we made communication with him, and he agreed to come to Guyana to carry out to assist in this examination. He requested several things. He pictures, X-rays, so on, showing different parts of the body, and he also requested a scan to be done. This is the first time in Guyana such an examination is being done or was done, and it was a result of our pathologist, who is the chief examiner for the United States state of Delaware, the state of Delaware, USA, and he's the one who requested that. It was not done prior to his arrival, so those things had to be done this morning. That was done at the Dr. Baldwin Singh Hospital this morning.
So we saw that that CT scan that was requested by the doctor. We saw that being done, or the body being taken at Baldwin Singh initially for that to be done, and then there was a delay from when that was completed to when the actual post-mortem examination began just after 12:30. Explain to us what was happening between that time, because I understand that the family had to be briefed first. So tell us what took place in that briefing with these foreign pathologists before they began their examination of the body.
Well, again, this was a request by Dr. Gary Collins, who said he needs to have an understanding, appreciation of who the deceased was. They explain who's Adriana Younge, or likes of this, could she swim, what transpired, and so forth, what transpired on the day. So from the beginning, the family said to us, doctor, we wouldn't be surprised or whether or not she would drown, or she died by drowning and so forth. But it's more or less whether or not, even before even cutting her or the examination being carried out, whether or not she died by drowning. So the doctor concerned before he wanted to know whether or not she could swim. I think that was one of his main concerns, was whether she was a swimmer. And the family disclosed, yes, that she was a swimmer, that she used to be in the river, swimming in the river, swimming in the beach, and so forth.
And so you got an understanding of that. Yes. So I understand that during that discussion too, he examined photographs and video clippings. Did that take place during that meeting before?
Well, photographs of our discovery and so forth, and a video of the discovery was shown to him. Yes, correct.
Okay, so that then took place, and then they moved the body over to the Georgetown Hospital just after 12 to begin that post-mortem examination, the actual examination. And I know there were 3 doctors there. There was Dr. Collins, who was there on behalf of the family, the pathologist. There was a pathologist from Mount Sinai Hospital, and also the pathologist from Barbados, all of them being there for that post-mortem examination. So take us through that, and what was that process like? Some of the questions that they might have asked during that process, or some of the things they said they were examining and looking at.
Which process? Talking about the post-mortem?
Yes, the postmortem at the Georgian Hospital.
Well, in relation to what the doctors, I had a distant view of what transpired. So I cannot speak onto relation to what the doctors discussed and what they were looking for. What I know is that they examined the body. They did several cuts were made and so forth.
Okay.
So I cannot say what the discussions the doctor themselves had. I was not never part of a doctor's discussion.
Okay, I understand that. But once that was over, they then had a briefing of the family. With all that was taking place on the outside, with the building
Yes,
up of the crowd and the police and all of that, there was a briefing of the family. And I know you were in that meeting as those doctors were talking to the family. So what exactly did they explain to the family as to their findings?
so we had the three pathologists, and we also had Dr. Caleb McGovern on his phone, who's the family doctor. We also had one nurse, Karen Pierre, who also examined, who was not examined, who also was present to witness the post-mortem. So the family they explained that they did a thorough examination. They examined the body, and for that's why I'm only saying, Gordon, to you what the doctor said, responding to your question. The reason why I want to say this is not from Darren Wade. I'm an attorney at law, and I do not want aspersions to be cast. I am just saying what the doctors expressed. This based upon them, based on what they said, they examined the body. There were no marks of violence on the external part of the body. There were no broken limb. The skull wasn't cracked or anything of the sort. Dr. McLaughlin, the family doctor, said yes, Caleb, that this is what transpired. They did not determine any infliction of any wounds or anything of the sort. So I
And then
want to be clear, this is not from Darren Wade. I'm only reporting from the doctors and all, well, the four doctors.
And again, you're saying those four doctors said based on their examination, there were no broken limbs, there were no marks of violence on the body. If I'm clear as to what you were saying, they said,
Correct, correct,
and then they told them about the drowning.
correct.
So what did they explain to them with that drowning? How they may have determined that?
Well, I believe they look, based on my understanding, they look at the lungs, and there was some kind of froth or mucus that was consistent with drowning. That's my understanding. This is Darren Wade's understanding. On trained, I'm an attorney at law. Once again, not a medical practitioner.
Yeah, and I see you're making that very clear this
It's very
evening.
important. It's a very important, Gordon. You know, my integrity as an attorney at law. I'm not a medical practitioner.
Yeah.
And there are persons who may want to create mischief and want to say things to bring my reputation and my character into disrepute. I just want to remind the public, or going to usually employ that I'm an attorney at law, not a medical practitioner.
Yeah, so you were just reporting what they explained to the family.
Thank you,
We
Gordon.
heard the family saying, just after that examination was completed, we heard the family saying, the father in particular, saying this was the result, but to him, that's no result. Sort of raising a concern that they're not going to accept that. Was that the feeling you got from the family? I know you must have been in some discussion with them.
As I indicated, the father was not in the meeting um, with the doctors. So when they explained the procedure and what they've done and so forth, as I indicated even the aunt earlier in the day, had indicated, I said that that they may, whether or not it is drowning or not, they can't say. But what they're insisting that the drowning, that's what they're insisting was not done in the pool. That's my understanding from the family in the meeting, that they're insisting with the drowning. If she died by drowning, it was not in the pool.
But they're not sure it might have taken place.
Correct. Correct.
You hear that, people? So she died by drowning, but I never in a pool she drowned. So I still murder. Some deep investigation need to go on in this case here, people, because somebody is responsible for this girl's life. Yeah, I tell you. But as me say, a chaos over Guyana right now. Listen to voice note here.
All right, so due to the fact that they The results came back and stated that the child died by drowning, which it could be that she did die by drowning, but it's just that not it's not in the pool that they found her. It's that people actually drown her and do whatever else they had to do. So because the autopsy results came back and it stated that the entire country is in uproar right now. Just as the results came out, well, before the results came out, some persons were shot at with pellets. One woman was shot in her face, while another guy, he was shot 19 times with pellets, along with other persons, but these are just people that we know about. They were throwing or shying bottles at the officers as well, so that's why the shooting ended up happening too. The tactical service unit came into play, so that was that. Um, in addition to the persons being shot at, after the results came out, it was not something that everybody expected. So we had other persons coming around to protest, but not peacefully. One guy, he was shot in his head. Somebody said he's dead. I'm not sure, but the police placed him into the vehicle, the back of the vehicle, and took him to the hospital. So I'm not sure if he's dead or what, but I heard that he's dead already. Um, the various villages. I don't know if that's what you guys would call parish. But we have we have towns here and we have villages, small villages. So a lot of villages, persons are out on the road. They're lighting fires, blocking the road. You have villages such as Paradise. You have villages such as Ross, Hope Town, Number Five, and so on. Persons are angry, and as a result, the roads are blocked. And this is the case. This here, based on how everything is looking, this here look like it's going to happen for a couple of days because what's next? The result is already out. The police officers, some of them are working with the evil people that did this to this child. I don't know what's gonna happen. The child's father said he's not satisfied. And I know if it was a country like Jamaica, like your country, I mean, not everybody stay the same, but I know if it was a country like there would have been, some people would have done gone for these people family. So as is right now, yeah, as is right now, persons would have taken justice into their own hands. So we're waiting to see what's gonna happen.